Hi everybody, it's Alicia with Expressions by Lish, and it is Thursday, June 4th. Can you believe it? It's June. Wow. I'm not even sure, did we have May? I'm pretty sure, but yeah. Hi Lori, how are you? If you're here and you're watching, please comment so that we can chat and you chat along with everybody and with me while we do this silly old bear mega class to go. So yeah, I'm kind of, hi Debbie, how are you? I'm so happy you're here. Hey Peggy, how are you? Okay, and Debbie too. May went super fast. I know, it was like a blink of an eye. Like, I still can't believe that today is June 4th. It just seems unreal to me. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff to talk about today, and I'm really super excited for my very first mega class to go. And it's mega because there's tiers, there's 3 tiers to this class to go. And I thought this is a great way to use a suite, or maybe some other time I'd use a bundle, but to use a whole suite and to be able to do other things with it. And it gives everybody a chance to participate in a mega class. So because there are the different price points. So to explain this, so if you're new to my channel, every week I go live on Thursdays at 2 o'clock. One of those weeks is Coffee and Cards with Lish. That is just a time to get together, craft together. I usually show like a fun fold or a treat holder or just something, you know, something that's new to me, or something that I think that's really kind of fun and cute. And we do that on Thursday. And then if you subscribe to my email newsletter, then you also on Coffee Break and Cards with Lish, you receive those PDFs for free for the things that we talk about on Thursdays, Coffee Break and Cards, which will be next week, Thursday at 2 o'clock. And so yeah, all you have to do is sign up for my email newsletter, and yeah. Hi Becky, how's Kansas? I'm so happy you're here. Okay, so silly old bear suite to go. So because it's a mega, like I said, it's 3 tiers. I don't know how often I'll do this. I know for sure I'll do one for Halloween and I'll do one for Christmas. A mega class to go. So my classes normally, like I was saying, are on Thursdays at 2 p.m. 3 times a month. And those are a class to go. So whatever I am showing, so, you know, like not next week, but the following week is Splash and Relax. So that will be a 4 cards in a kit, and then it will be when you spend $50 in my online store, before tax and shipping and after rewards, you receive this card class to go for free as a thank you gift from me. You have the video to look back on, and you get a PDF emailed to you, a PDF link of instructions. Raining storms, we need the moisture. You know, it was raining. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota, and it was raining here earlier, and now the sun is shining, and it is really humid today. Ugh. So yeah, we definitely, I think everybody could use the moisture too, Becky. Yeah, it's nice when we do see the rain come through. Okay, so with that being said, silly old bear suite mega class to go. So for the regular 4 cards that I normally do, when you spend $50 or more in my online store, you receive that card class to go for free. The next tier is 2 fun folds plus a pack of embellishments. That's at $150 or more in my online store. And you receive tier 1. So you receive tier 1 and tier 2 when you spend $150 or more. Now, the June online exclusive just dropped June 2nd. And it is super cute, you guys. It is adorable stamp set. So, and that's $75. So if you go add another $25 on, you get my class, tier 1 and tier 2. Then there's tier 3. Okay, tier 3 is a treat box and a post-it note holder for this class, and then pillow gifts. And they're a surprise, and there's more than one. They're fun. So all 3 tiers then, $150 or more in my online store. And then, because I created way more than what I needed, and I really had a hard time excluding this card from my class, I decided that I would have a bonus. So for the bonus, no matter what amount you spend in my store, from now through the 9th of June, you will receive this card kit. It's 1 card, but it's 1 card kit for free. So no matter what amount you spend in my store, you will receive the kit to make 1 card. And I am going to put the camera on my desk so that you can see all this fun stuff. Yeah, humidity is crazy, and I do not do well in humidity. I don't know about you guys, but oh boy, it makes me crappy. Ugh, don't like the humidity. Getting to the 2 tier was easy. Yeah, Lori, you know, it doesn't really take much, does it? Especially when there's so much fun stuff. And then they had the last chance list, clearance, the refresh, so that's good, plus the product of the month. Okay, so my add-on bonus that I just decided this morning. I just loved this card so much, and I had a really hard time not including it in my class to go. Isn't that cute? So cute. Okay, so no matter what amount you spend, you can spend $5, you can spend $20, you can spend $30, $40, whatever. You will receive this card kit to go for free. Okay, and I just want to quick show you. So you get the very vanilla card base cut and scored. You get the DSP that is cut, and then you'll receive the Golden Glow card mat and a very vanilla base. Now in my card it is embossed, but it is using the embossing folder from the suite, so that you would have to do on your own. And then you receive a piece of early espresso for the little stump he's sitting on, and this stylish shapes die for the sentiment. And a piece of the Golden Glow ribbon will be also in your kit. Okay, so that's just a little added extra bonus, just because I just really liked this card, and I thought, why not? Let's do a little bonus. Okay, so this is the suite. You get 2 stamp sets, the Sweet Old Friends and the Sweet Words and Labels, and the dies. 2 sets of dies are in the suite, and these shape dies, label dies are awesome. And then the dies for the Silly Old Bear, for the Sweet Old Friends dies. And you receive the Designer Series paper, which is 12 by 12, and this 100 acre embossing folder is also in the suite. Let's see, thank you for the extra card kit. Will there be a PDF? Yes, great question, Lori. Yes, there will be a PDF for that card kit also. Hi Mom, how are you? Okay, now, because there are so many different things, I am not demoing everything today, but I am going to demo 2 cards from Tier 1, the 2 fun folds from Tier 2, and the treat holder and post-it note holder from tier 3. Okay, so I just wanted to show everybody what will be in each tier. Okay, so in tier number 1, well, let's get the cards. So tier number 1 is this card, and this card, and this one I will be demoing today. This cute window card, and I will be demoing that today. And then card number 4 is this super sweet Eeyore and Piglet card. So that's the first tier. Okay, the second tier are these fun folds. I love this fun fold. I've made this fun fold several times. I just like, because you really get to show a panel of DSP, and you can see both sides, and it's got that little extra card here. This is just a lot of fun. Hence the title, right? Fun fold. And then this is the first time I've ever made a card like this. It is called a look-alike book fold, and it looks like a book. Now, some people did the book page at the bottom. I chose to do mine at the top because it will stand. And I don't know, I like to display my cards, so, and then when you open it, like, this is the spine of the book, and then it opens like a little, like a book, a card. Isn't that cute? It's so fun. And then I added this ribbon for, like, to look like a bookmark, and that's in tier 2. Tier 3 is a post-it note holder, and you will receive everything to make the post-it note holder. Okay, and you'll receive the post-it note pad, the Velcro to close it, and the parts and pieces to make this post-it note holder. And then the treat box is an easel drawer box. So this is what it looks like when it's not propped up, and then when you prop it up, it looks like that. And then this is the drawer that you pull out, maybe. Yeah, just like that. And I made a little handle that looks like a drawer handle, like a drawer pull. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And so I will be showing this today as well. So let's get out the cards that we will actually be working on today. And let's see these. And then these are our treat holders. All right. And I want to get the cards here so you can see what we're doing. And this will be card number 1. That's actually card number 2. Oh, and you will receive the half a sheet of paper for your stamping, pre-stamping and cut guideline. Oh, thanks, Peggy. Okay, so here's the card that we're first going to do. And the reason why I chose the cards that I chose to demo today, because there was like a little bit extra on it that maybe you haven't done something like this before. The other two are, I'm not going to say basic cards, but like a regular card that I think a PDF instruction will suffice. Okay, so in this card kit, you'll receive a piece of the very beautiful Hydrangea Hue for your card base that's cut and scored, a piece of Hydrangea Hue for your background, a piece of basic white for the inside of your card, a piece of Golden Glow ribbon, a piece of Designer Series paper. This is the cloud paper from the DSP. And this one I did emboss with the 100 Acre. Your kit will just be the piece of the DSP. You'll have to emboss that on your own or leave it. You really don't even need it. You'll receive a stylish shaped circle. You'll receive a piece of basic white to die cut. Well, actually, this will be in your pre-stamping guideline. You'll stamp and die cut right from the pre-stamping guideline. This right here, you can die cut some of the little honey drips and a piece of cherry cobbler to die cut your honey pots. And you'll also receive a piece of Golden Glow to die cut your little honeycombs, and we're going to use this. I made this to use as a stencil for the front of our card. Okay, any questions at all before we get started? All right, so first things first is I am going to take my card base and I am going to fold and burnish. And I believe I did not mount all my stamps that I needed. Now that I'm looking at my card front, I realize that I also need some stamps because we're going to stamp a background. Okay. And we're going to, on the background, we are going to use the really cute, I do have this done. It's like little bumblebees in a row. And then I need this honey pot. Let me grab a block. Okay. So I'm going to take the piece of Hydrangea Hue and we are going to do a background with Hydrangea Hue. So color on color. Have you guys got a chance to use your the new In Color ink pads? Just curious what you guys think of the new cases. I really do like them. I like the magnet part of it. I really do like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take my honey pot and I am just going to make a design, and I'm doing 3 in a row, and you can do whichever angle that you would like. This is how I'm doing mine. And you don't even have to be fussy about this center right here, but I still, you know, stamp there in case something would, you know, show through. Okay, and that's all we're doing, is we're just making our own DSP here. Okay. Like that. It's pretty basic. You know, it's not too terrible. And then my row of bees. Okay. And now I'm just kind of fitting them in here wherever I think looks okay. Just kind of going in between the pots with my little bees, just like that. Okay. And there's that. So that's basically what that will look like. Okay, we're going to turn that over. We're going to add some seal onto that. And we're going to put that right on our card front. Isn't that cute? I just think that's really cute. I liked how the bees just kind of fit right in there. Then we're going to take the piece, and now I did emboss this. It does not, this really, the paper, because it's the cloud paper, but I really liked that little bit of added texture to it. Oh, my camera's not the greatest to see, but we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of that. Just like so, and I'm going to use 3, 4, 5 dimensionals. I'm going to peel these off. And I am not going to center this. I'm going to put it towards the left-hand side and leave about 1/4 of an inch from the left. Okay. And then for the Winnie the Pooh, I did cut him out of the die cut him out of the DSP, But today I stamped a die cut one. Here's my deserve a little treat. Okay, so I'm going to set this stuff aside because I want to do our circle layer, because that we are going to do some stenciling on and some splattering with the Golden Glow, and that stuff kind of does splatter, so I'm just gonna, I don't want to make too much of a mess. Oh, did I tell you guys that your pack of embellishments will be the butterflies? I don't know if I said that. I just noticed it, that it's over on the side here, but that will be your pack of embellishments. Quickly stamped with the new pads to look at the colors. I like the new pads and love the new colors. Yeah, I do too, Lori. I love the colors, like absolutely positively love the colors. Okay, so for this card, I made my own stencil by taking the honeycomb die and placing it once, running it through, placing it again, running it through. And then all the little individual pieces do cut out, and I did keep some of them to add on to my stylish shape circle. So I'm going to take my Golden Glow ink, and I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to take my stencil. And now remember, when you're using a stencil, if you go over your stencil, you're going to get a line, and I only want to stay, because I made this myself, I only want to stay within that area. Now, you can take a piece of Post-it note tape and cover up if, you know, you're worried that you're going to go over, which I have done plenty of times. And then that way you can just stay on the, or you don't even need it. You can just hold on to it and do it. Yes, the pack of embellishments, Lori, yes, comes with the tier 2. And I am doing the butterflies for it, because I did use butterflies quite a bit in this class. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, so I'm inking up my blending brush, and I am going to go ever so lightly at first. And I just love the idea of making your own stencil. I think that's so fun. Like, yeah, I made that. And then some of these I'm going to go a little bit darker. And it just depends on the amount of pressure you put on. And when pressure, you just take your finger and push it on your blending brush a little harder. With less pressure, you're not pushing down at all. Okay, so I'm going to do that. A little bit further there. Then I'm going to take my tape off. And I'm going to move this again. And I want some more through here, but I'm going to kind of angle it. Well, I'm not kind of, I'm angling it a little bit. And you can do this whichever way, you know, you would like. I'm going to get some more ink. And with the new ink pads, you really have to, because the ink is different, the pad is different, you really have to go a few times with your blending brush. And as always, I do brush off first, tap off, brush off, and I'm doing the same thing. And I did, you know, repositioned my masking or my Post-it note tape. And we have that. And I did put more ink on the brush that time, so they are going to be a little bit darker. And there we have our little honeycombs. I wonder if we should put another one up here. I think I'm going to. I'm just going to take it and go like that and like that. I'm going to add a couple more up here. Okay. Now we have our sweet little honeycombs. And you could keep that stencil if you'd like. Then if you have some other cards, you can keep it right in your stamp case. And then that way you have it, or your stamp envelope, I should say. They're not cases anymore. Okay, so we have this. Now, when you die cut those, you get these little tiny honeycombs that die cut out. And I'm just going to glue a couple on for a little bit of pop-up and texture. And I'm just going to use my green glue. And you can put these wherever you'd like. You can put it somewhere over the top of a shape that's already there, or you can put it in an empty space, whatever you would like. I'm going to take my tweezers, and I have the glue on the wrong side, but that's okay. There is no wrong side, but if you know, you know, right? Okay, well, look, make sure I have the right side. And it's just easier for me with the tweezers just to, okay, so this one I am going to put right here. I'm lining that up. And then I want one down here. Have you guys ever made your own stencil before? I thought it was really kind of cool, actually. Okay, let's go over the top of this one. And then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put it right about here. Just kind of lining it up with the other design. Okay, so now we have a couple little extra pieces on there. Now I'm going to take my Golden Glow light, and I am going to get some color specks on there. And I'm using the light. I don't want it to be super dark because we already have the darker honeycombs, and the ribbon is little, so I just want a couple little specks on there. Okay, so now we can finish putting the rest of our card together. Okay. Excuse me. Still got a little bit of that whatever's hanging on, I tell you. I don't think that's ever going to go away. So I want my circle to be not all the way to the bottom and not centered. I'm going to go right about like that. And I'm going to put just a dimensional on this side, and then I'm going to run some glue across the center. Okay, we're just going to place that right here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some seal for my ribbon. And we're just going to make a faux bow. So I'm going to kind of put you guys on the spot a little bit. What do you think of the idea of this mega class, the different tiers? You like that or not? I kind of put you on the spot. Okay, so we're going to trim this up. With our ribbon scissors. And then I'm going to take my, I just love that you deserve a little treat. Isn't that cute? And I'm just going to put dimensional on each end of my sentiment. Because, oops, my bowl let loose. I didn't push it down hard enough, I guess. And we're going to put our sentiment over top, and I want it to go over the mat, lined up with, so over the cloud DSP, and line up with that mat that we made our own background on. Then I'm going to take my Pooh Bear. I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on him. And like I said, you can use the DSP to die cut him, because the die cuts do coordinate with some of the DSP cutouts. or DSP design, but this one I decide to stamp. Let's see, I think it gives everyone options. I agree with you, Peggy. Okay, good. I kind of, you know what, for me, being selfish, I just like to create with this stuff, and for me, it's just like a bonus. Because then I get to make all my cute stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little honey drips here with my liquid glue, and we're going to put those right on our honey pots. I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue. I'm going to take my reverse tweezers here. These really come in handy for stuff like this. You could use adhesive sheets. Okay, so there's one. Let's see, there's two. Okay, and here's three. So this class is probably going to go an extra half hour because just of the different, it's a little bit more putsy things that I'm demoing today, and I did take 15 minutes at the beginning to kind of explain how everything worked for, you know, because I've never done this before. Okay, so we're going to take one of our honey pots and put a dimensional on it. Well, two of them, but we'll start with this one. And let's see. I know I want that one to go here, but I want to glue a honey pot right down on the stylish shaped circle. And I want him to kind of go underneath the poo a little bit, like that. And then this one will pop up, and we're overlapping them. And we're also going to put a dimensional on this one. And we're going to put this towards the top. Okay, then we're going to take our embellishments, which is the In Color butterflies. I'm just going to grab mine here instead of opening that pack that I had sitting down. And we're going to use the Golden Glow colors, and I'm going to put one of the butterflies right on this honey pot right here. Okay, and then I am going to add a little one. Let's see, I don't have as much space on this one as my first card, so where should we put this little guy? Maybe right here. And then another big one over here. Make it go the opposite direction. Alright, and there is card number 2 for tier 1. What do you guys think? That Winnie the Pooh is so cute. Thanks, Lori. You think it's a good idea too? Okay. Then I don't, you know, whenever I try something new, I don't want to do something that, you know, you guys aren't going to enjoy or don't care for just because I like it. Okay, so card number 3 from tier 1 is this super fun window card. A lot of the pieces I did die cut out ahead of time, but in your kit you'll receive a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock that will be cut and scored for you. You'll receive a window sheet. You'll receive DSP. Now in your kit you will have a piece of DSP that will have 2 of these frames on it, and this one I obviously already cut out. And then you'll receive this piece of DSP. It will be a whole sheet, and then you're going to die cut out the center of it. You'll receive a piece of Mossy Metal to die cut leaves, a piece of Very Vanilla for your ribbon. This is the die cut that I chose to use, and it's this one right here. So that will be on your piece of DSP. Here are your, you'll receive a piece of Golden Glow for your other oak leaf. You'll receive another piece of DSP that will have this on there, and then you'll die cut this out. And then Very Vanilla, 2 pieces, one for the back, and then one to die cut 2 pieces of Very Vanilla. Thanks, Lori. Thanks, Peggy. Okay, so I did not die cut on the card base yet, because this way you can see how it's done. I'm just going to set this here so you can see it. So basically all you do is you take your die, and I will show you which one to use here. Okay, and this is the one that I chose. It has like the little diamond pattern cut in it, and it's one of the largest dies. And then what I did was I just took it and I lined it up, and you know me, you guys, I don't measure anything to make sure it's centered. I just eyeball it. And then I'm taking some Post-it note tape and I'm going to tape that down. Okay, and then let's set this stuff aside. We're going to grab my, not we, by we I mean me, and grab our Stampin' & Cut emboss machine. And we're just going to run that through. You don't even have to have the whole thing on if you don't want. And we are just going to run that through. Just like that. Now you have your window cut out of your card base. And if your, my tape isn't too sticky because I've used these a couple times, but now that I say that, it will be. Because when it goes through the machine, you know, it's really pushing that down. So just be careful when you're removing whatever you use to hold that down. And now you have an extra die cut to use for something else. Let's see, where did I go? Right here. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I've already folded this and burnished it before. And then I'm going to take my window sheet, this will be cut for you, and we are going to put that on the inside front. And I'm just going to use some liquid glue. You will see it, but it's not that noticeable. And I'm just applying it right to my card base. And I'm kind of trying to stay close to the oval just because, I mean, the window sheet is almost the exact same size, but I just don't want glue to be where there's not going to be a window sheet. Okay, and I'm just going to place that, and because it's liquid glue, you do have time to shimmy that around if you need. Okay, we're just going to press that because we know that it's where we want it. Press that down. Okay, I have already die cut my pieces. So this one with the striped DSP, this one is going to go in the center of the card. Okay, and we're just going to place that. But what I do is I take it and I flip it and I set it right in the space of the cutout. I hold it down with the finger, and then I'm just going to add some liquid glue. It's just a little bit easier than the seal when you're doing something like this, I think. Okay, now I'm going to take it and make sure again that it didn't move, because I want that lined up. And then I'm just going to close my card on it. just making sure that it's lined up. Okay, we're just going to go like that. So there you have your lined up. And I really like this die cut. It leaves that little diamond out, and then you could, it kind of peeks that cherry cobbler through there. So pretty. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the front. Grab my die cut. So again, I'm going to go like this, and now on this one I did use dimensionals. And I just really liked this one. It's Pooh and Piglet sitting in the easy chair in front of the fireplace. I just thought it was so cute. Okay, I'm going to peel these, and the dies for this do fit perfectly with the DSP, which is so cool that they did it like this. I really like that. Okay, so I'm going to place this in the center of my window, like so. Okay, and then when you see, you can see the inside. Now if you want, I wanted to cover that up. So I am going to take the Very Vanilla, and I am going to put some seal, or I'm actually using liquid glue. Put some adhesive on there. And we're just going to place that right on the top. Easy to line up. And I'm just going to hold it there for a second because it's liquid glue. Okay, and then I'm going to take my, now this is up to you. You could put a sentiment here, whatever you like. I chose to do another one of the cutouts with one of the, I'm just going to place that right in the middle. Okay, now I'm going to take my other piece of Very Vanilla, and we are going to stamp on that. And now I did not stamp this ahead of time, so we'll see if I can get it. Sorry, I had a little gunk on my Very Vanilla. So I'm going to take Cherry Cobbler, and I'm going to ink this up, the frame that matches this die cut, and I'm going to eyeball this. Now there's no guarantee that this is going to actually line up. Okay, so here goes nothing, right? Now I did post a video on YouTube the other day that shows a tip using the Stampin' Positioner tool to do just this. But I was feeling, and I'm a little off, but we'll put that towards the bottom and it's fine. I am going to wipe this off right away though, because it's, I mean, it's already stained, but I don't need it to be any darker than what it already is. Okay, and let's close Cherry Cobbler up because, oh boy. For some reason, when I'm using those dark colors, I get it all over myself. Okay, so the sentiment that I chose, I don't know, I don't have it out, but I will get that on there later. The sentiment I chose, it's basic black, and it's the best kind of days are the days spent together. And I just really thought that was fitting with the Pooh Bear, Pooh and Piglet together, and then here they're together. I just thought that was really cute. Okay, so we're going to open that up. I'm going to do kind of that same thing. I'm going to put this over the top. I've already put my adhesive on there. And we're going to shut it. Okay, so then everything is lined up and you don't see, and you know, it's just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take my oak leaves and we're going to place those at the top. And I am just going to take some liquid glue, and I'm just kind of looking, because I just want this to be right here. I think I'll put a little bit more. Whoops. right here, like that. Okay. Because I'm just putting it at the top because I'm going to pop up this one. I should have went up a little. No, that's good. I'm going to put a mini dimensional towards the top of the oak leaf. Not all the way to the top, but pretty darn close. And then that will cover up where you had your glue. And I'm going past the stems. So this stem is the highest. Okay, and then I'm going to take my piece of Very Vanilla, and I wanted a double bow. I didn't want it to be too big. Actually, I did a triple. So let's do a triple. And we're just going to tie that like so. And then I'm going to adhere that with a glue dot over my leaves. And then I did use some other dots instead of the butterflies on this one. And play with your bow. I'm going to trim that with my ribbon scissors. Have you guys ever made a window card like this before? I've done a few. I've done several different types of window cards before, but okay, so the embellishments that I used for this, I did these quite a while ago. What did I use, you guys? They're kind of a milky color. I'm wondering if I used these. Yep, I used these Antique Pearls. It just with that kind of vintagey looking, you know, classic bear. I thought these were cool. Okay, so I'm going to take a big and put one here. I'm going to take a little and put that here. Then I'm going to take the medium one, and I'm going to take the medium one and I'm going to put it right in the center of my bow. Just like that. So there is card number 3 from Tier 1. What do you guys think of the window card? So that finishes off our Tier 1, and next we're going to do our fun folds. I just want to put a couple things away so that I have some space here. I kind of make a mess when I'm crafting. I don't know about you guys, but oh boy. Ask Debbie. Debbie knows. I make a big old mess. Okay. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Okay, the fun folds. Where did I put them? The first one we're going to do is the book. I'm just kind of picking stuff up so that I know where I put it, and I'm not, you know, where did I put that kind of thing. I'm pretty good, notorious for that. Thanks, Peggy. Thanks, Debbie. Okay, now I'm just got to find my card kit. Right here, right in front of me. Okay. So in your card kit for your fun fold, you will receive a piece of crumb cake. This is your card base, and it will be cut and scored. There are 2 score lines on here for your spine of your card. Then you'll receive this piece of crumb cake that is cut and scored for you. This is your card. This is your book on the front. You'll receive a piece of Golden Glow ribbon, and then I did a different one than this. So you'll receive DSP that you can die cut, and it will be either, you know, it will be one of these 2 bears. I would think. I'll try to get them, but it will be one that's going this direction, let's just say that. Okay, then you'll have this piece of basic white. This will be for your book pages, and then this, you'll actually receive 2 of these for the insides of your book. Okay, now I did use a quarter rounder. If you, whatever quarter rounder you have, you can use. Mine is a very old Crop-A-Dile corner chomper that has a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch on each end. Whichever you decide. That is the one that I'm using. I don't think I have a Stampin' Up! Corner rounder. So I did round the edges on that. Then you need to take and you need to round your edges just on the left hand side of your book. And this is up to you. You don't even have to round it if you don't want to. Okay, so we have that rounded. We have this rounded. That's all we need to round. Then for this cutout, you need to use a circle punch or a circle die. I have a 1 1/8. This is, I think, a very old Stampin' Up! One. But I'm not going to do that. That's right. I have to glue this down first. Okay. Now, I saw this by 2 different demonstrators, this card. Now, the one I did case, you know, the design of their card, but I really liked Delight of My Art. I cannot think of her name right now. She did this neat scoring thing with this to make it look like pages. They're not just score lines that go straight across. They're staggered. So you just take it, you have to put it this way, okay? And now I'm just setting that in there, and what you do is you take and you score, you lift up just a little bit, move it, score shorter, lift it up, score long, lift it up, and like that. And then you get these little score lines. Let me see, I don't know if that might be too close. But they're there. You can't see it. And then it just really makes a difference. It really does. And especially if you're going to add like any sponging to make your book look antique-y. I just think that's was really cool. And you know, maybe the first ones you didn't see because I didn't push down hard enough. So it's up to you, short, long, whatever you think looks good, because I did this a couple different times just to see, and it really does not matter the lengths that you choose to go and where you choose them. There's no right or wrong way to do that. I'm gonna bring this down again just a little bit because I didn't put any at the top. And it just kind of looks like pages. It's just something neat to add on. Okay, so first things first is we are going to put this on our card front. Now, this does have 2 score lines in it. You don't need to burnish them. That just makes it look like a spine of a book, and you'll know where to place the actual card. Okay, I'm going to put some liquid glue. I'm not going to put glue all the way to the end because I'm going to chomp some of that off. Now, the other person that I saw do this, she did not cut that out on the end. So either way, I think it looked good. Okay, so I'm just lining that up, and it's probably leaving 1/8 of an inch, maybe even less than that. Okay, so then you have that. I don't know if you can see. like that. Okay. You love the card, that card? Yeah, it's really a lot of fun. Okay, now this we are going to place to the second. There's a score line here and a score line here. You're going to take this and you're going to line it up with that second score line, and it is going to hang over a little bit. It's supposed to. Okay, I don't know if I have seal left in here. I might. Oh yeah. I'm going to put some adhesive on that, and I'm just lining it up to that score line. Okay, and we have that. And I made sure not to go over that edge. Okay, and now I'm going to take this circle punch. So like I said, you could leave this just as it is, and it does still look like a book because of this, that kind of illusion, like that it looks like a book. I'm going to take my hole punch, and I don't want a ton taken out. I just want a little chomp. Maybe. I must not have the strength today. So I'm opening this up. I don't want to chomp on this part. Just this part. Just like that. And there we have our little, and now I should have gone a little bit closer to that, and I'm just going to take my snips. And I'm just going to run. And you could very easily just hand do this too. There. Isn't that cute? Okay, so then we're going to take, oh, I forgot to put my little, okay, hold on. I'm not going to, I should have done this before I put it on the card, but I'm just going to make a little bit of a slice here. We're going to put our ribbon through that. I should have put that before I put that down. Okay. Let's see if we can get that through there, because if it sticks out the other side, that's all right, because it's a book, right? So I'm taking my knife end from my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to slip this ribbon through there. Just like that. Make sure it goes all the way through, and it does. Let's see if we can get it through there. I did it before, right? I should be able to do it again. Okay. Let's see. I think I have to use something to poke that through. Okay, bear with me, you guys. I'm going to try not to cut myself here. Okay, I don't think I cut it deep enough. I probably shouldn't be cutting right on my glass either, but there we go. Got it. Okay, now, yeah, I just didn't push hard enough, you guys. Okay, so I'm just kind of going like this. And then I am going to trim some of this off. And I'm going to use a glue dot to hold that down. I'm just going to place the glue dot right on the card back, just like that. And we'll lay that down. Okay, and now we have our bookmark. And now you can trim this however whatever length that you would like. Okay, I'm going to put the sentiment, old friends are the best friends, for the title of my book. I have seen them where they did happy birthday here. I thought that was really cute. That would be cute with this balloon cutout. But I'm just going to use the stamps that came in the suite. You guys, you know, make it your own. Okay, I'm using Early Espresso. And we're just going to stamp this up. And we're going to just go right about here. Not going over that one score line. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to add dimensionals on this. And I think I'm going to put a glue dot. We don't need that sticking up like that. I'm just going to set that right here so that kind of stays put. I'm going to put dimensionals on this. And now for my card, I did take the time with a sponge dauber with crumb cake ink, and I did go around my card and this white to make it, to antique it, make it look like an older book. And that's not everybody's cup of tea, but if you choose to do that. Okay, there we have that. We'll put the inside in. Like I said, this card, when I first saw it, I thought, oh boy, this one, I don't know. It really is easy to put together. So that. Then let's add some embellishments, and these I used the Earthy Matte Dots. I wanted that early espresso color to coincide with the early espresso here and here. And I'm just going to use a big and a little. And there's the first fun fold from Tier 2. I just thought that was really fun. It's the first time I've ever made one like that. And I was just really super excited about it. I just thought it was really fun. But yeah, sorry, I have I moved my camera today, and I just keep forgetting that I moved it. So I keep putting the stuff not in camera. All right. Yeah, I do too. I like that antique look too. But I just used a dauber, a sponge dauber with some crumb cake ink and went around it. You could, before you put anything together, I did mine after it was already together. You could take your pieces and use a blending brush before you start. Okay, next one is this fun fold. And now I don't know if this is called a double Z fold or not. I wasn't quite sure on the title for this this card, but I have made these quite a few times. I just never knew the title of it. Okay, so you will receive in your card, this kit, you'll receive a piece of DSP that is cut and scored for you. That book card is, yeah, isn't it fun, Lori? It's so fun. Debbie, you love it too? Yeah, I really do love it. Okay, so this will be in the piece of DSP. You'll receive this piece of Secrecy that will be cut and scored. Another piece of Secrecy. This is your actual card base. Okay, Secrecy, basic white, and then you'll receive a piece of basic white to do your stamp, your die cutting of these. And then this goes inside here on the second panel. So you'll have the piece of, this will be to die cut your sentiment label. And then I used the stamped poo on this, but I used the die cut outs for Kanga and the poo with the honey pot, and then owl. And then you'll receive a piece of Golden Glow. All right, so this card, this is your card base. This panel of, it's 5.5 by 4 1/4. It's just the one piece. And I'm just gonna fold this like this on my score lines. Maybe. I don't go too heavy-handed when I'm doing DSP, so I kind of had to, you know, this isn't folded right, but I need this folded down so that I can adhere this on here. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put seal on the back. I ran out of seal. I'm going to use some liquid glue. That's why it's nice to have a little bit of everything in your craft stash, right? Then you don't have to worry about running out of whatever. Okay, so this is going to go down like this, and I'm just even margins all the way around. Okay, so then you want, this is a mountain fold, just like that, because this one's a mountain. Okay, so the next one is a valley, points down because you're down in the valley. So mountain, valley, mountain. Okay, and it goes like that. So this is what it will look like. Let me put that on there. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is, this is your other card base. You want to take this and fold and burnish it. And it's going to go this way. So you want the closed part, I guess you say, the scored end, to be on the right. So to do that, but you want it open, because you want this to go over it like this. And I want a little bit of that showing. So this is the placement. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's straight. Whoops. Make sure it's straight. I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm just going to put some just like that. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to make sure it's straight again. And I want to leave just a little bit on the edge poking through of the designer series paper. I'm just going to go like that. Okay, now you're going to flip this over. We're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to take some of the glue, make a little rectangle, and we're just going to fold that over like so. So here's your card. Then we're going to take this, I'm going to put my oh, that's right, this wasn't DS, this one goes on the second panel. This one, oops, didn't I put the DSP with this? Interesting. I'm gonna rob Peter here to pay Paul. Hopefully it's in this one. Unless I took it out and I already lost it. Huh. I did not cut it. Alright, well that's okay. We're gonna cut it right now. I'm gonna look at my measurements. I'm pretty sure I know what they are, but let's take a peek. Let's see. Make sure I'm doing the silly old bear right. Let's see here. I can just take my ruler out and, okay, here we go. DSP 3 1/4. And now I'm going to take, and I chose the DSP that has the line of the animals on it. It's like, it's the hydrangea hue piece. It's like the piece with the clouds, but it has the lineup of all the characters on it. Right like that. Okay, your card kit will have 2 of these in there, I promise. And this is just squared, so 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Just like that. Boy, here, you know, when you think you're so organized, right? Okay, we're just going to take our glue, put that on here, that. Okay, and this goes on the inside, just like so. Okay, and now I want this to line up with this. So we're going to do the same thing like we did with our window card. I'm just going to set that right over that, and we're going to close it shut. This way everything stays lined up. So then we have that. Now I'm going to take my other piece of DSP, and we're going to go like that. And I am going to have to open up some seal because I want to put my ribbon on. I'm probably not going to finish decorating the entire thing. You guys will have plenty of pictures and instructions to see exactly how everything should look. But I just wanted you to see exactly how to put this card together in case you've never made one before. Okay, so I'm going to take my seal and I'm going to put it right across like this. And this will be for my faux bow. Now, you will get a generous piece of this Golden Glow ribbon because this is a big faux bow. Because I wanted it to peek through that label die cut. Just like that. And like that. Okay. Now we're going to take our, you will stamp this and die cut with this is hydrangea hue. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put dimensionals on it. Let's see. I lost my dimensionals. We'll just start a new one. And we're going to go like this on each side, so it does not interfere with our faux bow. And I am just going to place this because I liked how the ribbon poked through the little cutout, just like that. Okay, I did stamp, but I'm going to leave that up to you guys. I did stamp a row of honey pots. Like I said, I'm just going to give you guys the basics here. Oh, this one's a little long yet. Okay, so I stamped Oh Bother, and then a row of honey pots, and then this is stamped and die cut on you'll have your pre-stamping guideline, and you're just going to put that on the top with dimensionals and some butterflies. Then your inside now is this piece of basic white that came in your card kit. And again, this can be for whatever you want it to be. You can decorate it like I did. I did the owl, and then I did some blending at the top with hydrangea hue. And then I put, it never hurts to keep looking up with that label. And then I die cut from the DSP the honey pot. Then I took You Deserve a Little Treat, and I did that in Secret C, and I stamped that right on the paper, right on the DSP. Okay, and I just took that and I'm putting that right, not all the way to the top, but over that row of characters. And then take your other die cut, same as the front, and we're going to glue that right down. Just like that. And then if there is space for writing here, but I will include a panel of 5 by 4¼ to go on the back of basic white. Okay, so that is your basic. This is how you put this card right here together. Isn't that cute? I just think that's so cute. And it just displays so nicely. It's just so cute. Okay, the next one is tier 3. Okay, and that's this Post-it note holder. And this again is really comes together very easily. Okay. So in your kit, you will receive a piece of hydrangea hue that is cut and scored for you. You'll receive cherry cobbler for a mat and a die cut. You'll receive a piece of basic white. That's for that inside bottom. We matted with your cherry cobbler. Okay, so that this one obviously is to die cut your label. You'll receive the pieces of DSP that will be cut for you. And then you'll receive your Post-it notes. You'll also receive that. Okay, so I did round the corners on this one again. And let's first take this and fold it and burnish on our score lines. Like that. That. And like that. Alright. Let's open this up so we know how this is going to be. And you want it this way. So, the longer end, this is has a bigger, larger at the bottom from the score line down. Okay, so that's your inside, just like that. Thanks, Peggy. Yeah, I like that fun fold. It's just so fun. Okay, so this I am going to round my corners. I'm going to do on the, just like that. And I'm also going to do the bottom of this piece of DSP. And now in your kit you will receive 2 pieces because I am putting that one on the inside as well. And this goes right on the front. Again, this is something that these are so great as little stocking stuffer gifts. If you're hosting a shower or somebody for work or yourself, these just is such great, and it comes together pretty easy. Okay, and now this right here is your other square piece of DSP. And I'm just putting adhesive on these. Just want to make sure that it's going the right direction. If you're using directional DSP. Okay, so you have that and that, like that. Okay, now we're going to take our cherry cobbler and our basic white and make our mat stack. that. And then this is going to go at the bottom inside. Just like that. And you could do DSP down here. Instead of the white, you could put another piece of DSP. I just thought it was cute with the cutout of Pooh Bear with the honey pot. And if you wanted to write a note, you could write a note, or just an inspirational. You could use another sentiment. You could leave it for yourself, write little notes on it. And then I am going to keep this on here. This is that backing. Okay, and then I'm just gonna glue this. You could use tear and tape. And I am just going to put this right in between the score lines. That way. And I'm just going to push that down, hold it there for a second. Okay, and then it closes like, it's like a matchbook. And then I'm going to take my two, I just love this. I'll make sure your DSP has the piece that has the Pooh Bear. And he's writing on a piece with the feather pen. I just thought this was perfect for this Post-it note holder. And we're going to take that, and now I used the little tiny die cut that has the two little hearts, because it will, isn't that cute? And then the little cherry cobbler shows through. I just thought that was cute. And now, whoops, forgot it's liquid glue, it still can move, right? And then I am going to use dimensionals on this. Like that. And like that. And this will go on our front flap. Just like that. Okay, so I did use Velcro dots, and you will receive a Velcro dot in your card kit. I'm going to see where mine is here. My little bin of Velcro dots. I forgot to put it in my envelope. So we want to put them together like this. Okay. And then you can decide if you want to put that other piece of DSP on here or leave it like that. Okay, and it will go on here, but I am going to take the sticky end and I'm going to place that, see, it's really sticky. I'm going to put that right about here. Just like that. I try not to touch it so that the sticky stays sticky. And then I'm just going to close this and push it down. So yeah, it's a cute little gift, isn't it, Peggy? I think so. And then I'm just going to make sure that that's good and sticky stuck. And then you can embellish. You could stamp. Now I took and just stamped the Pooh Bear right on the Post-it note with Golden Glow. And then in Hydrangea Hue, I did The Best Kind of Days or The Days Spent Together. You can use any sentiment you'd like or none at all. And then I embellished it with those earthy, the same ones as I did with the brown. I probably put them away. And then I used the cherry cobbler ones. And there's your Post-it note holder. I just thought this was really cute. Thanks, Debbie. Okay, last but not least is this super cute, I love a drawer box. The very first time I'd never made one, and I received one as a gift from Melissa when I joined her team. Hers was larger, And it was when we had a record player type of set, because there was a record on the front, and it just was so cute. So this is our little easel, and it was an easel like this with the pull-out, and then she had candy on the inside. I thought that was so sweet. Okay, so in your kit, the only thing that will be in, well, there's two things that's not Stampin' Up! That you'll receive is the Velcro dot, and you are going to receive some fasteners. These are brads. They're from my own craft stash. I have a million of them. And it just, instead of just putting a dot, this will really hold your handle on. So your handle's not going to come off. If you give it to somebody and they pull on it, I would hate to see, you know, it come off. And I just thought this was a better way. Okay, so you will receive this piece of Bearly Blush that will be cut and scored for you. Another piece, this is your box, that will be cut and scored for you. And then this is your easel that will be cut and scored for you. This is a piece of Bearly Blush. This will go on our easel with the coordinating DSP, the gingham. And then another piece to go on the front. And then these pieces go on each end of our drawer. This is the piece of Basic White. This is also cut and scored for your drawer pull. Thanks, Lori. Okay, so first things first is the box. It's a very basic box that you just take it and it's scored all the way around at the same, and then you just go around and you cut up on each side and miter the sides. So like I said, it's a basic box design. It's pretty easy. So you just go up to the score line and cut. Whoops, kind of chomped that one a little bit. Like that. And then turn it around. Do the same thing here. Cut, miter, and then go up to that score line, and then miter. Now this is up to you. You could use, to put your box together, you could use tear and tape. Okay, so I'm gonna use liquid glue. And I'm just taking my, and I'm folding and I'm burnishing these really well so that the box goes together easier. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. So there's our box. And then all you do is you take and just put it together. So I fold these two flaps down. That is where we're going to put our glue, or you could put your tear and tape. So what do you guys think? Have you made a easel box before? I've also seen these made like this, and then it's a calendar. And then, so obviously it's larger, and then the calendar goes on the easel part. I thought that was a good idea too. Okay, so we're just going to line these up and hold it because I'm using liquid glue. And then I'm going to turn this around and do that again. Just like that. And there's our box for our drawer. This is considered our wrap, and I am going to fold and burnish these. Just like that. Like that. And like that. Now it's been a very long time since I've made this box. So, well, it's not very long. Probably last week. I have to see if I can remember how I did this. Okay. So this is our drawer. I'm going to take that out. This is our easel, and that goes on the top of our wrap. So the wrap goes this way. All right. So you're going to take this and we're going to slide. I'm going to put this in here. Just like that. I'm going to go like this. And like that. Okay. And then there's our drawer. And now this can be, you know, the bottom, because we'll take that piece out. But we're covering it, so it really doesn't really matter. But so I'm going to take some liquid glue, but I'm going to take my finger, okay, and I'm going to keep it right here. And I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to take my liquid glue, and I'm not going to go past my finger or your tear date. Okay, and then we're just going to take it, and then we're going to hold it there. I'm going to kind of try to put my fingers under that. You could put something in the box. Okay, I want to slide this out. Okay, like I said, I think I'm going to leave this at the top because we're going to cover that up. And then this will go in this way. Okay, so now we have our easel, and we are going to fold and burnish our school marks on our easel. Just like that. Okay, and then it goes, I'm going to set this up so you can see. So this goes like this, and it will shut, you know, because when you get your box it will be like that. And it will open like this, and then it will prop like that. Okay, so I'm going to take some liquid glue. I'm going to put this on there. Whoops. Like this. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to take my piece. I'm going to make sure this is, I don't think that's straight. And that's what's nice with using liquid glue. You can still move it a little bit. I'm going to take one of my panels of my DSP, and I'm going to put this on, which would be kind of what you would think of as the inside. I'm going to go like that. Just like that. Okay. Now, this, I'm going to glue my DSP onto my other Barely Blush cardstock. And then I'm going to put that on here. And then this is going to be attached like that. You see that? So you're only going to put the glue on this piece right here. Just like that. Don't go over the edge like I did. And then I'm going to line this up flush at the bottom. I'm just going to hold that for a second. Debbie, I don't know. I'm trying to think if we made these before. We may have. I just don't know if we made it with a drawer, but we could have. It's very possible. I don't recall. Okay, so now we have that. Okay, so when you give your box, it will be flat. Yeah, Lori, I have so many brads in my drawer. It's almost embarrassing. But they're organized and they're in containers and there's a spot for them. So, okay. I wanted to make sure that this goes in this way. Which way goes better? I don't think it matters because it's square. But I'm going to take my other 2 pieces of DSP and put those on, because then we are going to put our handle on and then hole punch for our handle for our brads. I did so many brads. Oh my gosh. I did brads. Holy buckets, did I do brads. Let's go this way. Okay. This is another great gift. Or just, I'm keeping this one for myself and putting it on my desk. I'll probably put paper clips, or I'll put something in it. Maybe some hard candy or something. But I'm going to keep this one. That's why I did it in Bearly Plush, because I wanted it for myself. Okay, so I'm going to take my hole punch. Whichever hole punch you have works just fine. Okay, but first things first is our handle. I took my bone folder and went like this, just in the center in between those 2 score lines, just to kind of help it along, to curve it. Then you take it and you're going to place it like that. Now I did banner cut my ends on each side. I didn't go very far up. I didn't want a drastic end or drastic flag banner cut. Okay. I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. Like that. And like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put some glue on the backs of that. Just those little banner ends on the back side. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to look for the middle. I'm going to take my first end and line that up, and then this you kind of, and then this gives you your handle. And when you use your bone folder to curve it, helps in your placement of your handle. Isn't that cute? I just think that's so cute. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab some brads. Wonder why they call them brads. I don't know. But I don't even know where I got these, you guys, but I have a gazillion of them. So, they're really cute. Oh, wrong color. These are just like a clear little rhinestone in them. Okay, so now I'm going to take my hole punch. I'm going to punch right through that. The glue just helps keep everything in place and you know where to punch your hole. I'm just going to take my brad and slip it through there. I even have old, retired, well not old, they're new because they've never been used, retired Stampin' Up! Ones in my drawer. Okay. So not only is this glued on, but it's also fastened on with your brad. Okay. Make sure that goes in. And you just take it and you just bend them back. And then this goes in. You have to maybe squeeze it a little bit to get it in, but not too bad. Once you do it and you pull it in and out, it will, okay, so there's that. And once you have it done, so this is you'll die cut that same one that you die cut. Which one did we? Oh, the note cover, the notepad. And then what I did was I cut it out in basic white, and I cut it out in the Bearly Blush because I wanted these little hearts that come out when you die cut. And you could just use the white ones, but I wasn't thinking, and just color them with your blends and then put them in there. And then I just flipped my tag over, and then I used dimensionals to keep them stuck on. And then I did Old Friends Are the Best Friends, and then I did 3 butterflies in a row. And this you pop up with dimensionals, so it's like this, and then when you pop it up, it's like that. And then I decorated it. Now when I made this, I used the Bearly Blush for my cutout. I'm thinking basic white might have been a better choice, but I should have done basic white and then used a little bit of Bearly Blush for blending. But I took the Piglet and stamped and die cut, and I colored him, and the Pooh Bear and the Honey Pot. And then I also did a row of honey pots. And then I did stamp the little pieces of the dandelion that he's blowing off. I added a Bearly Blush bow, and then the Hydrangea Hue butterflies to coincide with the Hydrangea Hue in the pots, honey pots. And there is your easel box. So what do you guys think of all the projects? Let's pull these out, show what we made today. We did a lot of fun stuff today, you guys. Thanks for sticking around. This was a long one, and I have a messy desk to prove it, but to me, messy desk means I had so much fun. I really did. I love making this stuff. And then these are the other ones that we did not make today. So this is your Silly Old Bear Mega Sweet Class to Go. Thanks, Debbie. Peggy, I love them all, but the book card was my favorite. You know, I have to say this book card is definitely a favorite. And like I said, the people that I saw did it, they did the book at the bottom, but I like to display a card when I get it, so I made mine at the top. And you could do this in so many different ways. Any set, this would be so cute. As a gift card holder, even you could do like for a Barnes and Noble gift card, with your piece here you could make a little pouch, a little flap thing to put a gift card in. I think would be cute too. The book card is your favorite also? Oh, good. Yeah, Lori. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions at all, please let me know, and just send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I see your message. I'm pretty good about getting back to my messages. Pretty good. Usually the same day. If not, early the next morning I will. So thanks for joining. As always, this is the highlight of my week. I was super excited about these cards, and I hope you are too. You guys have a good rest of your day and have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next Thursday for Coffee Break and Cards with Lish. Talk to you later. Bye.